What if buying just one property could help you retire with over $4 million more than if you never bought real estate at all? In this video, I'm going to show you what happens when we take two identical people, both middle class, both smart with money, both investing regularly, but one who rents for life and the other who becomes a house hacker at the age of 30 and obliterates his counterpart's retirement numbers. Let me show you how. Meet Ryan. He's 30 years old. He works a 9-to-5 job, earns $75,000 per year, and he's managed to save up $24,000 by the time we start this scenario. He rents an apartment for $1,500 per month, which comes to $18,000 per year in rent. Let's say his other living expenses, auto, groceries, insurance, utilities, clothing, entertainment, so on, total around $34,000 per year. After taxes, Ryan sets aside 5% per year to invest in a 401k or an IRA. That's just under 10% of his after-tax income. Now let's assume Ryan puts that initial $24,000 directly into the stock market and continues investing that $5,000 every year for the next 30 years. We're using a stock market return of 10%, which is consistent with long-term historical performance. So where does that leave him? Well, after 30 years of consistent investing and steady returns, Ryan, the renter, retires with $1,388,951. That's a solid nest egg, and he's done pretty well. But now, let's look at what happens if Ryan makes one crucial change. Meet Ryan, the house hacker. This version of Ryan still earns $75,000 per year, still has accumulated $24,000 by the time he turned 30, and still contributes $5,000 per year into a retirement account, just like the renter version. But instead of investing his $24,000 savings into the stock market at the age of 30, Ryan uses this money toward a down payment and closing costs on a $400,000 fourplex. Assume that Ryan qualifies for an FHA loan with a 3.5% down payment, which comes out to $14,000, and he spends another $10,000 on closing costs. He moves into one of the units and rents out the other three, which bring in $1,350 per month each, for a total of $4,050 per month or $48,600 per year in gross rental income. Here's what it costs Ryan to own this property. His mortgage at 6.6% on $386,000 costs about $2,464 per month, or $29,568 per year. Mortgage insurance premiums add up to another $2,124 per year. Property taxes are $5,400 per year. Property insurance is $2,200 per year. And let's assume that utilities, repairs, maintenance, vacancy, and reserves all together come to 15% of gross rents, which is about another $7,290 per year. That brings his total annual expenses to operate this rental property to $46,582 per year. And since his rental income is $48,600 per year, Ryan is not only living for free, but is actually pocketing about $2,000 per year in positive cash flow. Ryan still contributes to his retirement account, and we'll discuss the amount of those contributions in a moment. But now he's also getting these added benefits. He's living rent-free, which means he's actually saving $18,000 per year more as compared to Ryan the renter. His tenants are paying down his mortgage. His property is appreciating at, let's say, a reasonably conservative 3.5% per year, and he's earning an extra $2,000 per year in cash flow. Let's assume Ryan keeps this setup for 30 years. Either he continues living there and house hacking, or he moves out and rents the unit he was occupying to a tenant, banking that additional rent in the process. Either way, the property keeps working for him. If he continues to house hack this property after 30 years and all the other things being equal, his 401k balance based on $5,000 per year contributions will grow to $907,116. His property, appreciating at 3.5% annually, is now worth $1,122,717. And his total rental cash flow over 30 years adds up to about $60,000. And that's not even accounting for any rent increases. Altogether, after 30 years, his total net worth would be approximately $2,089,834. So even with modest cash flow and no extra tricks, Ryan the house hacker will have accumulated about $700,000 more net worth than Ryan the renter by the time both of them turn 60. But this, of course, assumes that Ryan simply spends that extra $20,000 per year. That's the $18,000 that he's saving by not having to pay any rent and the additional $2,000 that he's getting from rental cash flow. But since, in our hypothetical, Ryan is a financially savvy guy, we know he doesn't just spend this extra windfall. He's almost certainly investing. So let's assume that Ryan invests this extra $20,000 per year into the stock market. In our baseline hypothetical, Ryan the house hacker, just like Ryan the renter, was putting $5,000 per year toward his retirement. But if Ryan the house hacker actually adds the other $20,000 to make his annual investment $25,000 per year, the resulting number simply goes through the roof. At 10% return over 30 years, that boosts his investment account to $4,535,501. Add that to his property, still worth $1,122,717, and now Ryan's total net worth explodes to $5,658,218. That's more than $4.25 million more than Ryan the renter. Honestly, this is a mind-blowing difference. Same job, same raises, same level of discipline, just one smart decision. Now, I want to pause here and be totally honest. Obviously, this is a simplified model. In real life, Ryan the house hacker probably isn't going to live in this fourplex for 30 years. Maybe he falls in love, gets married, and moves into a single-family home. Maybe he keeps the fourplex as a full rental, or sells it and invests the equity somewhere else. There are countless possible paths, and this model doesn't really capture them. There are definitely things that can happen in Ryan the house hacker's life that can reduce the ultimate value of his future net worth. But these same things can also reduce Ryan the renter's net worth too. And you know what else? This hypothetical also doesn't account for the things that may greatly increase Ryan the house hacker's net worth. Maybe his property appreciates at 4.5% or 5% or more. That is not out of the realm of possibility and would significantly increase his wealth as a result. The hypothetical also doesn't account for rent increases, both to Ryan the house hacker's favor, where he's able to raise rents that his tenants pay him over time, and to Ryan the renter's detriment, where his landlord raises rent on him over time. The result is that Ryan the house hacker would likely make more rental cash flow, which he'd then be able to deploy to grow his stock returns even more. Meanwhile, Ryan the renter would probably have less to put into his stock investments as the cost of his housing continues to squeeze his disposable income. What's more, Ryan the renter, in real life, probably is not consistently investing $5,000 per year toward his retirement anyway. It is a statistical fact that most renters in America contribute far less annually toward their retirement than homeowners. Indeed, surveys show that only about 30 to 35% of renter households have any retirement account contributions or meaningful savings in financial assets. In real life, the median net worth of renters is just $10,000. That's it. This is about $380,000 less than the median net worth of regular homeowners in the United States. That's a mind-boggling difference. And that's just homeowners who do not house hack. When you factor in all of the additional benefits of house hacking as compared to renting, the two wealth outcomes are honestly not even in the same universe. But why does this wealth gap exist at all? Well, the reason has to do in large part with the renter's incorrect approach to money, wealth growth, and investing. Renters as a class generally fail to capture the benefit of reinvesting any housing cost savings they might realize by renting. Homeowners, on the other hand, and much more so house hackers, often gain wealth through equity paydown, appreciation, and tax benefits. So while in our model, renter Ryan is disciplined enough to invest $5,000 per year, in real life, many renters don't. And that makes the difference even more drastic over time. The bottom line is that, in reality, the actual gap between these two Ryans would likely be even larger than the already absolutely staggering divide we've shown here. So here's the takeaway. You don't need to buy 10 or 50 properties. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to flip houses or become a real estate mogul to exponentially improve your financial standing over time. You just need to buy one good property, one that pays for itself and allows you to live for free or almost free, one that builds equity and appreciation while you live in it, and one that allows you extra cash that you can then use to grow your wealth even faster. That one move can change your life. If you want to learn how to do this, how to find the right property, evaluate the numbers, and avoid the rookie mistakes, I created a free community called House Hack Mastery on School.com. It's packed with resources, examples, and real people who are doing this right now. I'll drop the link in the description. If this video helped open your eyes, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to learn about the 5 ways the rich make money with real estate, watch this video next. Just tap or click the screen, and I'll see you there.